Hi, mateys. No, I'm not Captain Jack Sparrow. My name's Tim. And we just did some series of things to this truck here behind me to get it running again. It's kind of a long saga, lasted about 3 months. Should not have lasted that long because I spend most of my time working on sonars for the U.S. Navy and just didn't have enough time to actually put into this vehicle. And so I'll go through and explain to you what we did. Alright, so anyway, Mary house. I live sort of out in the woods, but I do have cars, yeah, right, and a driveway, and lots of plants. Anyway, this is a Deuce half. It's a bobbed Deuce half, M35A truck. Okay. Ran into this problem a little while ago, where, well, first off, you'll notice that the gas tank is missing from the truck. Well, it was rusted out, and it was clogging up the primary fuel filter up front, so I pulled it out. And with the plans to replace it with either a customized aluminum fuel tank or to get something off the shelf. Must be aluminum. I don't like steel anymore because of this rust problem. In the meantime, to run the truck up and keep it flowing in terms of running, every once in a while, periodically, we'll fire it up with a tank that's a plastic tank that's, you know, basically just have an intake that goes up to the fuel pump and then an outlet which, you know, brings the excess fuel back down into it. And that's worked pretty good, except there was one problem, and that is there happened to be some accumulation in the fuel pump itself of some of those rust deposits, some of the same rust deposits that had infested the primary fuel filter. Anyway, so I cleaned that out, and what led me to this was the fact that when I was trying to run this up at one point, the batteries kind of went dead, leading me to suspect that possibly the batteries were old and dying out and so forth. And but that's not the case. What happened is, because the fuel pump was clogged, the batteries were working too hard to try to crank the engine over, and there was no fuel going into the engine. Of course, the batteries then went dead. So I'm thinking, all this time, I have to replace the batteries. Well, a few days ago I realized, well, maybe it's not the batteries. So I put a charger on them, and yeah, they came up the charge. And I also checked out the fuel filter, which is approximately right up there. I don't know if you can see that. The intake to the fuel pump was clogged.